This is the 2020 Toyota GR Supra, and today, oh boy, we're going to review it. Hey folks, I'm Rob.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are Two Guys in a Ride. And say, Nate, what are we looking at today?
Today, folks, we're taking a look at this beautiful 2020 Toyota GR Supra.
That's right, but say, before we do, if you want to keep up to date with all the new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and you want to know how to operate all the technology that's built into them, plus you like cool collector cars,
take a moment to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification up above so you never miss a video.
That's right. So, what do you say, Nate?
Well, let's go for a ride.
All right, so welcome to our detailed video on the driver's information system and the infotainment system on the 2020 Toyota GR Supra. Now, the driver's information center, you've got one thing that you can change, and that's this area down here. So there's a little button on your turn signal stock, and if I do that, I can turn it all off. I can see my trip meter, and I can do, I can get how many miles still empty. I can see what my current miles per gallon is. I can see what my average speed is and my average miles per gallon, but without the graph view. And then it goes back off again, and then you're back. And that is the driver's information center. Surprising that there isn't more you can adjust on here, but that is what you have. Now, coming on over to the infotainment screen, there is a whole lot more over here. And basically, this is a touch screen, but you have what would be very similar to BMW's iDrive. So you got the rotary knob down here below, along with the ability to go left, right, up, down, and then your shortcuts. Okay, so this is what I'll be using to control everything, rather than using the touch screen. So, to start off with, what do you have? Well, you've got your media and your radio. You've got communication, my vehicle, which will be where all your safety systems are. I mean, anything to do with your actual vehicle. Okay? You've got navigation, connected services, and then notifications. So I'm going to go back here, and we'll just click on media radio, and all I'm doing is pushing that dial down. Okay, and I have, let's see, oh boy, we got presets, you've got satellite radio, FM, AM, music collection, phone, screen mirroring, and then tone and manage mobile devices and personalized menu. What I do like about it is that whatever highlights up here, you kind of got like a little shadow of what's in there. So if I take my wheel and I push it to the right, now that menu comes up. And I can select what will show up in that main screen by clicking on this and on checking, for instance, AM radio. If I don't ever listen to AM radio, I don't want it to show up. So you can customize it. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay, which is really nice. So let's just go to FM radio for a minute. And so here I go. I can just use my jogging dial, and I can go through all these different settings. Okay, you notice the heading at the top is actually what's playing. Okay, and then at any one of these, I can just click on it, and it will automatically go to that station. Or let's say that I want it to manually tune. Okay, so I can jog to the left, and I can get up to that magnifying glass. I'll click on manual search, and now I can use that dial to rotate all the way around. So let's just go to 101C. 101, I don't know if that's the station or not, but it sounds like it should be, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, now, what I'm going to do is, that is playing right now, and I'm going to go over to the right, and I'm going to push down on the rotary knob, and now I can select some different things. So I can have, I can turn off the split screen, first of all. I can do the currently selected navigation where I am, the map facing north, arrow display. I can get information on where I'm at, as far as like altitude and longitude and that kind of stuff. I can get onboard information, trip computer, media radio, time, weather, and then I can personalize the menu. So a lot of different ways I can do this. So while we're here, let's take a look at a few of these things. Okay, onboard information. If I click here, I get basically a miles still empty, and then my current miles per gallon and my average speed. And then if I want, I can go to, like, say, media radio. And now whatever I click on over here on the left shows up on the right. Okay, so that's just a way you can use your split screen. Let's go back to the menu system for a minute, because I want to go over to another one. Communications for your phone. Let's go to My Vehicle. This is where a lot of your systems are going to be. So for vehicle settings, oops, I went too far. You've got wireless charging, language, touchpad, displays, date and time, and units. And if I toggle over to the right, okay, you got exterior lighting, and then again it tells you what this is. So if I click on it, I can have one touch turn signal, 3 times, and if I click on there, I can change it to 1 time. Lots of ways you can customize this. You can turn your daytime running lamps on and off, your welcome lights on and off, your door handle lighting, pathway lighting, and it actually shows you which lights come on, which I think is a really cool graphic. I love the fact that the door handles light up. That is cool. Okay, I'm using my back button. You got setups for doors and keys. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all of this because it all works the same way. You either press to the right so you can get to that screen, or you press down on the rotary dial and it brings you to that screen. Okay, let's go to the Toyota Supra Safety. That one I want to show you. So here's where you can turn on and off some of your safety systems. So you got front collision warning, lane departure warning, blind steering intervention. If you had this on, you could select steering intervention, and blind spot monitor. Now the blind spot monitor, again, is part of an additional package that was purchased with this vehicle. So I'm going to go here to lane departure warning for a minute. I'm going to just click on that wheel, and I'm going to say I want it reduced. As soon as I do that, steering intervention lights up in white. I can press on that again, and now I've activated lane departure warning at a reduced level and steering intervention. Okay, I'm going to go to the left again, and you can set your steering wheel vibration, because your steering wheel will vibrate to warn you, and you can set how it does that. Speed assistant. If I click on here, you can get warnings for speed limits. Okay, you can say adjust manually, show current limit. So if I do that, okay, you can then also select warn when speeding or not warn when speeding. Okay, and I'm gonna go back again. This time I'm just using the back button. So they're like, 3 ways to get to things and back out again. One is using that jogging dial left and right. One is clicking on the jogging dial. One's using the back button. So I can go left or right, push down, or click on the back button. All right. Speed warning, driver attention control here, parking, configure sport for individual. Now, if you go into here, you've got dampening, steering, engine, transmission. So I can go here and click on dampening, and I can have sport or normal for dampening. I can go to steering, and I can have sport or normal for that. And I can do the same thing with the engine and transmission. So in other words, you can customize this. You can have some things normal, you can have some things sport, all at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna go to the back button here. Climate functions. You can adjust the temperature for the upper body part right here, which is an interesting feature. If I come and if I click come down here, oops, here I go, comfort ventilation. I get the choices of, I can activate now. I've got for a one-off departure time, for a certain departure time, and for departure time. So I can set my car to get the ventilation going prior to my getting in. I can set it for what kind of temperature I like it. Okay. And we'll go back again here. You have vehicle tracking. Okay, I'm not going to go into that one. We're going to go back here instead. Back to, let's see, where we go all the way back here. Now, that was all under vehicle settings. So, now you got system settings. And this is where you can do basic things like change your units, the language, the touchpad, the displays, all that kind of stuff. And again, same process. Click on the cursor, the jog dial, or go left or right on it to activate things. Okay? And I'm going to go back again. You can do driver profiles. You can look at your vehicle status. And by the way, driver profiles allows you to set up for 3 main drivers and 1 guest. Okay? You can take a look at your status of your vehicle. And if you do that, you get a couple different really cool things. First of all, we've got the tire pressure. And I like the fact that when they're good, they're lit up in green like that. And if I go over to the right here, now if I click on, okay, I want to go back over here, tire. I want to come down 1 to oil. I want oil. Now I can only have 1 thing show at a time apparently, so you're going to have to decide which thing is the most important to you to have, and you can click on any of these. I will go back up and do the tire pressure. I'm going to go back 1 step here, and of course you've got you have different sport displays you can show, or driving information. Okay, so if I go to sport displays, here's what you get. Okay, so you've got power and torque showing up. So there's a lot of ways to configure this thing. I think that the thing that I notice most about it is that it's very BMW-ish, and it's if you're going to buy this car, you're going to need to plan to spend a little bit of time in the driveway educating yourself on how this thing works. Last thing I want to show you on the infotainment screen is the navigation. It's got a nice map. Okay, so the interesting thing is that it's got a separate map button and a navigation button. So, and those are shortcuts below. So if I go to map, I actually see the map. So if I want my map to be full screen, it does tend to revert to full screen while you're driving. But if I just go over here, rotate up to split screen and uncheck it, I now have a full view. Okay, that simple. Okay, but the navigation button actually takes you to like your quick add search, set home address, recent destinations, enter address, points of interest, contacts, and it all works the same way as everything else I've shown you. The main item shows up here. What it does shows up here. You can click on it and it will take you to this screen, and then you can go from there, right? You can click something more. Okay, so that is the way that works. All right, now the last thing I want to show you on the interior of this car is the heads-up display. They're very hard to get to show up on camera during the daytime. It does have a heads-up display, and it's not going to come across on camera, but you need to know it's there, and it works very nicely. Thanks for watching.